Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
What's up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of the Multiverse Report. What do I say? Tonight, we are recapping the week's nerdy news from Starkiller Base to the Lonely Mountain and everywhere in between. My name is Mike Gibson. With me as always is Steve Haller. What's up, Steve?
Apparently not our brains at this hour of the night.
Our brain. Monday night, long weekend.
Yep.
Boy.
Here we are.
Yep.
So,
a little shattered.
good holiday weekend for you?
It was an okay holiday weekend.
I
saw you this morning.
I was going to say, I know
parade.
I had you up at the crack of dawn to get your son up there to march in the parade with us. So,
Yep.
always fun.
And then I collected him, neglected to say goodbye to you, and didn't see you for the remainder of the parade or day until right now.
Well, there you go. Here we are. We are.
Thank you
here.
Thank you for marching all those scouts down that steep hill in the village of Camillus, New York.
That's
our yearly Memorial Day parade. Appreciate it, Steve.
It's always a time.
It's always a time.
Wrangling that many small humans is it's a thing. So, you know what else is a thing, Mike?
I was gonna say, you know what else is a good time,
Steve?
It's a thing and it's a good time. Is our new spin-off podcast, Haven't Seen Star Wars, that just today, this very day, dropped its episode on Return of the Jedi. We are closing out the original trilogy already. Steve, can you believe it? I feel like we just launched this podcast. We're already through the original trilogy.
Yeah, which is not to go inside baseball here, but that's also making me worried about the back half of this podcast.
Yeah, we got to record more episodes.
Yeah. So, for anyone who hasn't, subscribed or liked or done the YouTube pleasantries for that show or this show, please do, for, if nothing else, awareness and the algorithm liking us more. But
yes, please.
We've currently got as of today, a full breadth of reactions of two folks who have never seen any of the original trilogy of Star Wars, seeing them for the first time. So I would say get caught up on that before 2 weeks or so. I think we launched the prequel trilogy.
The prequel trilogy. Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah. This Monday was Return of the Jedi. Next Monday will be an original trilogy wrap-up episode that we did in person with each other, not over Discord, like we normally record the episodes. So that'll be fun. And then we might be taking a week off before we launch in the prequels, but then prequels will be after that. So definitely get caught up because it's been a lot of fun.
It has.
And I don't think you're going to want to miss some of their takes on the prequels. And you certainly don't want to miss some of their takes on Empire and Return of the Jedi, because boy,
there's been some gems.
There are certain things that they say in both the Empire episodes and the Return of the Jedi episodes that I edit the audio and the YouTube video of the podcast. The YouTube is always a little different. YouTube's a little bit longer because I don't trim as much stuff. Like the audio, I'm like focused on how you're gonna hear something, how people will listen to it. In the video, I'm just like, if it's paused, it's fine because you can see someone's face thinking or whatever. It's not a big deal.
Right.
So the YouTube, you get a little bit more in the YouTube. But anyway, I'm trying to say I spend a long time editing 2 different versions of this podcast
and listening to our voices over and over
and
listening
over
to them.
again. Yes. And there are certain things that Alex and Amber say in the Empire episode and in the Return of the Jedi episode that make me laugh every single time I hear them say it. It fills me with such joy.
That's great.
And minimal smile, wide ear to ear, at most laugh out loud every single time I hear them say it. It's so funny to me. Their reactions to some of these things are so funny because they're so true and they're so authentic, which is great. Great to have when it comes to fresh Star Wars opinions. Also,
Ours are old and stale at this point.
Ours are old and stale. Yeah, exactly. More on that shortly. As far as old and stale opinions on new Star Wars stuff. This podcast is sponsored by Funky Town Comics and Vinyl in Camillus, New York, and in Cicero, New York. I was there this week, grabbing some stuff. Check them out. It's become a place my son wants to go to at least once every 2 weeks to check out their records. My son is becoming obsessed with buying records, which is something I can relate to big time. And as somebody who champions physical media myself, I didn't even try to get him ingrained in physical media, but he, as far as music is concerned, if we don't have it on vinyl, then we don't actually own it. Like, it doesn't matter if I have it downloaded on my phone or if I purchased a digital copy or I have it on CD somewhere or it's on my laptop or something. He's like, no, that doesn't count.
Right.
Dad, that doesn't count. I was like, I got it on my phone. He's like, it doesn't count, Dad. We got to get the record. Right. I'm like, okay, let's go.
Like the
let's
phone
go
is
look for...
right. The phone is strictly for playing it in your car.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's I'm following you down some of the physical media train. Actually, today picked up a copy of Superman on Blu-ray.
Oh, dope!
Because it was $12 at Walmart. I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna do that because why not?"
Hell yeah!
And I've been on the vinyl bandwagon for way too long as well.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But yeah,
I'm actually a little off the vinyl bandwagon just because like I'm running out of space. So now it's like I'll still buy if it's a band I like.
We just opened up an
love.
IKEA down the road. They've got more Calyx shelves if you need them because those I found are perfect for vinyl.
Oh, nice. I may end up having to invest in some more shelves, but now it's got to be like a record I'm real excited about or a band, one of my favorite bands.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm still gonna buy all that stuff on vinyl. Like Paul McCartney's got a new album coming out next week. I pre-ordered it on vinyl. Like that's just gonna be what I do for Paul McCartney or Green Day or They Might Be Giants, like a band that I like love. You know, like those are gonna be vinyl purchases.
Did They Might Be Giants release that
drifting
latest
away.
one?
Sorry, what's that?
Did They Might Be Giants release the one from last month on physical?
Yeah, I've got it on vinyl.
Well, I should probably work on that.
I actually have 2 copies of it on vinyl, Steve. Because I'm an idiot. And I joined the They Might Be Giants fan club early last year, which entitled me to a number of incredible, wonderful bonuses and delights, one of which is a copy of their album on vinyl later when they release it later in the year. I forgot that my membership automatically came with a copy of it on vinyl, so I ordered a copy of it on vinyl. I got them both like within 3 days, and I was like, "Oh, I'm stupid. I didn't need to do this." And I'm sorry to break this to you live. I was planning to give it my extra copy to you until my son realized I had 2 copies and said, "Can I have the extra one? You only need one. Can I have it for my collection?" Because he has his own record collection. Boy. It's not our record collection. Yep. It's Sam's and Dad's or whatever. You know.
That's great.
So I was like, yeah, buddy, you can have it. So you were about to get a free copy of They Might Be Giants, The World Is Dig, or whatever it's called, on vinyl, and now you can't.
You know, it's a pretty killer album. Like they're
to
back
record.
You know,
that's a really good record.
Back to hitting
if
their full stride.
If you're a They Might Be Giants fan, check that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm past the point where I can like pick up something on a whim, just because of space. You know, like, oh, I wonder what this sounds like. Or I never heard this record by this band I casually liked 20 years ago. I'll pick this up for $10. Can't do that anymore. I just don't have the space.
Sounds right.
It's proprietary now.
So my son has gone down that rabbit hole with comics. So
nice.
I think I told you before he's in a new Star Wars resurgence.
Yeah.
So randomly we were down at Funky Town last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. A week. We were down there on a day, and on that day, he found the Star Wars hyperspace stories. And was like, Dad, can I try that? Can I try one of these? I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm not going to tell you not to buy a Star Wars comic that's directly targeted to you.
Yeah, it's for you. Yeah.
So he did, and now he's like, Dad, can we find all the other ones? I'm like, oh boy,
a bunch, right?
Here we go.
Yeah, we've got one of those.
Yep.
They're really fun.
Yeah,
They're really cool.
Yeah, they're just nice.
got one
And
that's
they do them in like they're all like four issue minis too. So
Yeah.
it's a nice like in and out closed. Like they've done a couple of Bad Batch ones. Now he's like,
cool.
He's watching Clone Wars, but he read the Bad Batch thing of this. He's like, Dad, we gotta get to the part in Clone Wars where the Bad Batch is. I'm like, dude, you got 4 more seasons. Like he's
got a long way to go, man.
Yeah, he's mid season 3 right now, and I'm like, you got some time, dude.
My son and I just finished. My son and I and my wife, I should say, finished watching Mandalorian just in time to go see the movie.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna like force it because we went right from Rebels. We went right from Clone Wars to Rebels to Mandalorian. What I don't want to do is I do not want to burn him out on Star Wars. Right. Although seeing Mandalorian and Grogu, he seems to be like very high on Star Wars right now.
It definitely reignited something. Yeah.
Totally. We saw, and we're going to talk a brief non-spoiler Mandalorian Grogu momentarily, but we saw Mandalorian Grogu on Friday. Saturday, he wanted to watch Empire Strikes Back. Sunday, he wanted to watch Force Awakens.
Nice.
So we're like into like he's like I'm not going to say no to him wanting to asking to watch a Star Wars movie. Yep. Yes, we can do that.
See, and that was
unless we literally can't.
Right.
If we do not have the time to do it. Yeah.
Friday night was Return of the Jedi for us So I went Thursday night. I went with my family on Friday night, and then Saturday night he wanted to watch Return of the Jedi, and I was like, well, yeah, like
yes. I also want to watch Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. So I and again, you can also hear it on our other feed, but I feel like every time I watch that movie, I get more. I don't know, nostalgic is the right word, but like I'm more. It hits the feels more.
Sure.
So like I'm sitting here like in my chair up in the living room, getting actively choked up when I am a Jedi like my father before me. I'm oh god damn it.
Yeah, it's great. Yep. I just love how your relationship with a movie, Star Wars or not, any movie can change.
Yeah. Can
like become, you can drift away from it, or it can be like exactly what you need to hear in that moment. Like it's just the best. Like over like that. A New Hope could do that to you.
Oh yeah.
5 years from now. It's the greatest. Anyway, I was saying like that. This whole tangent was to say that if I had to guess, I told my son, I was like, eventually at one point while we were watching Mandalorian, he said, "What are we going to watch after this?" And I was like, "I'm going to leave that up to you.
Yeah.
You want to do Bad Batch? Great. You want to watch Obi-Wan? Great. You want to watch, I don't know, something else. Ahsoka? Yeah. Great. But he has been interested in the Bad Batch since before he knew who the Bad Batch was.
Yeah.
So my guess is that it will be his choice next.
So my son put together, he was watching the Domino Squad arc.
Yeah.
And I told him, hey, that's who the Bad Batch are named after. He's like, okay. And then a couple days later, he kind of like pieced together like, oh, wait, they named him after, or they were named after him because they were like.
Hope episode getting some numbers, which I am very happy with. Empire kind of lagging behind A New Hope, which I'm surprised. I thought Empire was going to rank, just crush it on YouTube, especially compared to The New Hope. But A New Hope is like hundreds of people watch that. That's big for you and me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're
not being monetized or anything. It's just a big deal.
I'm
happy with the performance.
We're almost in triple-digit subscribers over there.
Really?
Yeah. No, I'm lying to
wow.
you, Mike. I'm lying to you.
Wow. That's great. I didn't know that.
Yep.
I haven't checked that. Amazing.
And we've had over 1,000 views on the videos in the last 28 days.
Hell yeah. Thank you to everyone who's watched one of those. You're probably not watching this, but thank you.
The Venn diagram is Brian.
Yeah. You got to remind me the next time we do record an episode, it will be the first episode that we've recorded since we've started releasing them. So you got to remind me to say like thank you to anyone who is.
Oh, absolutely.
You're like, yeah. So anyone listening to this episode can listen to that episode, and if Steve doesn't, then you can yell at Steve for not reminding me.
It's true.
It's true.
It is true.
Anyway, let's stop talking about Star Wars for like 3 minutes, and then we
Okay.
can talk about Star Wars again. Okay.
Sounds good. I mean, there's a reason that the thumbnail for this show said the Mandalorian Report with a different logo on it. It is release week, and we got to push the Star Wars thing with the other podcasts and such. So
we really do. We really do. And we really just only mostly talk about Star Wars on this show anyway, right? So should we just change the name of the show to the Mandalorian Report?
With a smattering of other things.
Star Wars only?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's the blank check rebrand. We're doing the opposite of them.
We're the opposite. We're just going back to just talking about Star Wars. Thank you. As we teased last week, whatever night we did last week, we knew that the following day was going to be the release of the new trailer for Lanterns, the new DC Studios television show, HBO Max series, coming out later this year. And that trailer did, in fact, come out just like we said it would. And I crazily didn't watch this trailer until today.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
So
insane.
I saw it before you.
Yeah, totally. I had like a really busy week. I wasn't like going a lot of places. I just had a lot to do, a lot to focus on, like during my days and stuff. So I wasn't on social media too much. I wasn't doing anything else other than like focusing on the shit I had to do. So this kind of like drifted to the back of my brain, and I wasn't hunting for it. And then I was like, oh yeah, new Lanterns trailer. We should talk about that. Oh, I need to watch it. So I watched it twice, pretty much right before we started recording this podcast. And I liked it. Steve, what did you think about this Lanterns trailer?
I thought it looked great. As a person who is way outside the realm of any sort of lanterns, outside of knowing like the general concepts because of comicness.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it looked like it hit all the right notes. I'm very curious about the relationship between Hal and John, and what is going on there.
I have a ton of questions.
Yeah.
More than anything else, this trailer gave me a ton of questions about what are Green Lanterns like in the DCU. What is going on? I liked, first of all, general thoughts. I liked that this should have like shut some people up that were mad that it wasn't like green. The first trailer wasn't Green Lantern-y enough.
Right.
I think, we see him.
We talked about it last week where the first one was like the grounded one.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing more of one. What's actually happening.
He creates a construct. We see him create a construct. He creates a dollar with the ring. And it's cool that like it wasn't just like a beam of green light coming out of the ring that created a dollar. It was like the ring was like pulling, looked like it was like pulling molecules from the air or something to create. That was like cool. I don't know. We see him block some kind of giant space laser or something with it. And he also protects himself at one point. Like a shield comes around him to like protect him from gunfire or whatever at some point. Very cool. So it's definitely like more, okay, they are Green Lanterns. He's using this ring like a power ring, like, settle down, nerds. It's happening.
Yep.
But what I don't get, Jon Stewart doesn't have a ring.
Right. He's like training with Hal's ring.
Right. But he already knows that Hal is a Green Lantern and that Hal has a ring. And Hal is making references to like, if you're going to wear this ring, you need to know this. And then, you're not going to get this ring over my dead body. And that is like that. Is that too on the nose foreshadowing? Like, is that just telling us that Hal's going to die in this show? Like, that's been a theory.
And
but also
where's Guy going to come into the picture there too?
Yeah, Guy is shown in this trailer.
Right.
He's in jail, it
looks
like.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
No, yeah.
after seeing how that character is being portrayed in Superman
Yeah.
and whatnot, it's like, no,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that tracks.
But like, unless they're changing the lore, which is possible, it's possible that they're like taking some swings
Mhm.
with the comic book lore. But normally, you don't know about Green Lanterns unless you are another superhero, a member of the Justice League or something. You've
Yep.
been saved by a Green Lantern, or
Or you are a lantern.
you're not training to become a Green Lantern. A ring chooses you. You
Right.
don't have a say in it. A ring, like a Green Lantern somewhere else, doesn't even have to be an Earthbound Green Lantern. A Green Lantern somewhere in the galaxy dies. The ring leaves their finger and
Right.
seeks out a new host, someone who's worthy to wear the ring, and it chooses you. You don't get to say if you want to be chosen or not. The ring chooses you. So, like, how is this dynamic set up where Hal is already training Jon Stewart? Like, there's no guarantee that regardless of how pure of heart Jon Stewart is, that he's going to be chosen by the ring. Like, and there is a shot where he's like walking through like a street that looks like it just got blown up or something. He looks dazed. He's carrying a Green Lantern. He's carrying a lantern, like that charges the ring.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so he's got a lantern, but he doesn't have a ring. Why does he think he's getting Hal's ring? What is happening here? Like, what is this?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, did it open more questions than answers? Is that what a trailer should do? Yes and yes.
Yes. No, I think so.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it.
So,
It made me super pumped. I need to know what's going on. It also made me think, speaking of the Hal dying thing, which is something that I've heard rumors about and I have thought would make sense. You're trying to set up Jon Stewart as like the main Green Lantern of your DCU. That's my assumption.
right.
You kind of got to get Hal out of the way. You have to like acknowledge Hal Jordan. And also we heard a report. This is going way back, but I remember when they were cast, I think we heard a report that Aaron Pierre's contract has options for films, whereas
Kyle Chandler's doesn't.
Kyle Chandler's does not have options for films, which means he's either going to just stick to the TV show or he dies in this show and will not continue on to anything loftier.
Right.
So we'll see. But watching this trailer, not only do I think Hal's going to die, I think it's possible that Hal dies early. Hal might be in like one episode of this. Like every shot in the trailer, he's wearing the same thing. He's wearing that brown
the Han
jacket.
Solo duster and
Yep. And jeans.
Yep.
There's like a flashback that looks like a flashback of like he's on television or something because his hair's a lot darker when he's wearing his Green Lantern suit. But I don't know, man. I think he might die in the first episode of this show.
And maybe that's where Sinestro comes in because he's been confirmed to be cast.
That's true. He has.
I keep like cutting off these statements as you're in the midst of taking a drink, so I apologize for that. But
no, that's fine.
I mean,
that's fine.
how's that all going to play into it?
Right. Yeah. How is Sinestro going to? Yeah, that's really interesting.
Right.
I keep forgetting that Sinestro is in this show because they haven't showed like a pink-faced mustachioed guy.
Right.
You know,
which I wonder how they're gonna what that's gonna be like.
Yeah, and is it gonna be the full origin of Sinestro where he's like a Green Lantern that, you know, turns bad in season 2 or something, you know, and then he's a villain, or is he gonna be a villain from the outright and they tell us the backstory? He used to be a Green Lantern that fell from grace or whatever. Who knows? Yeah. But then the last line in the trailer is Aaron Pierre saying something to, I think, is that Laura Linney? I think it's somebody that
I think so.
No, it's not. I don't know. But he says, I'm going to be better than he ever was or something like that.
Right.
And I'm like, I think he dies early in this show. And then the rest of the series is Aaron Pierre like picking up the pieces. That's my guess. I could be wrong, but
you know, weirdly, maybe what we're seeing of Chandler and Pierre is flashbacks.
Oh,
maybe this starts with Pierre being you know, the Green Lantern with the ring, the whole nine, everything goes. And what we're seeing is flashbacks of him when he first gets the ring with Kyle training or something like that.
Wow.
Which is why it seems like when he says, I'm
Could
better
be.
than he ever was, it doesn't seem like he died yesterday. It seems like it was a little bit.
You know, I did read something where it said that there's multiple timelines
Right.
in the show. I took that as being, because in this trailer, we get flashbacks, what looks like to Jon Stewart's childhood as
Right.
well. And I remember that they cast a younger couple as his parents. So I thought also that could be the multiple timeline thing. But also now I'm like, yeah, you're right. That could be a flashback to his, crash course in training.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it might open with Jon Stewart walking down that like war-torn street holding a lantern being like, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
Flashing to, okay, Hal taught me all this stuff.
Yep.
Interesting. Or Hal doesn't even have to die. Maybe Hal just disappears. Maybe he gets captured or
Right.
gets,
or maybe that's
whatever.
where Sinestro, like maybe back in
That's
the day,
where Sinestro
Sinestro grabbed him, and now they're searching for that, or there's a lot of different ways to do it.
Yeah, a lot of different ways to play it.
And Kevin in the chat, I'm not ignoring your comments. I just couldn't find a way to slot him in there. He did bring up, with this that there is the standard, as we've seen in multiple shows, and especially comic book shows and superhero shows, the inherent bigotry that's tied into having a black man as the lead or a woman as the lead or whatever.
Yeah.
And he seems worried about that being an issue, and that, there's a distinct possibility for that. He brought up a bunch of shows that happened in, and then also put Secret Invasion in there, which, while that technically fits the bill, I would say Secret Invasion got panned not for that, but for the fact that it was Secret Invasion.
With a black man as the lead? Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
'Cause
Secret
Kingsley Benadire
Invasion was pretty poor.
Yeah, Kingsley Benadire made the most of what he was given in that. Same thing with Samuel L. Jackson, but
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Yeah, I mean that's definitely something that we've seen time and time again, where it's a person of color or
yeah,
a
She-Hulk
woman
or
the Acolyte. Speaking of Star Wars,
Right.
like it's not one white man in that whole series
Right.
that is a main role, and boy, did people not like that at all.
I think the only one is a floating Jedi with one eye.
Yeah, and
That's
he's not even a main character.
Right.
That's what I mean. He's a side character. Really.
Ironheart, same deal. You take both
and-
boxes with that.
Ironheart, yeah. I think now I'm saying this because I do not understand people that will attack a show because of the race of the main character. So I could be way off track on this. But from what I've seen, it seems like racist fanboys seem to complain about race bending or forced diversity. They claim all this bullshit, whatever. When it is taking a swing, when it is like, oh, let's take this character and instead of a white person, let's make them, a person of color, make them a black person or a Mexican or something like that, Jon Stewart is a character that's been established in the comics since the 70s.
Yep.
I think this is the kind of, black man lead of a superhero show that will get a pass from racist fans.
Sam Wilson didn't.
That is true. So never mind. Forget what I said. Especially, here's what it is. I think that if it was a show called Green Lantern, or if it was Lantern starring Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart, and that's it,
Yeah.
then that's no big deal, because it's not forced diversity. He's always been black. He's been black since the
Right.
70s, But I think because if this show does what we are talking about doing, if this show kills or shelves a white protagonist and
Yep.
Hal Stewart Hal Jordan, to lift up the black lead, Jon Stewart, then people will be mad that they wrote off Hal Jordan just because he's white or whatever. That'll be the bullshit that we get.
And those people,
if that's what happened in the show, it may not be what happens.
Yeah, and those people will be absolute idiots.
They sure will. Yeah.
So, either way, I am very much looking forward to this show after seeing the trailer.
Yo, me too. I always was.
It looks like it's got that HBO Prestige feel to it too, that's a nice addition.
Yeah. And it looks like they spent the money. Like, it looks really good. Like, I was watching the trailer with my wife, and she goes, "This is just a TV show?"
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it looks really good. It looks real good. I'm sure keeping it on Earth and only using your CGI budget for when he has to stop a giant space laser and stuff, and you don't have to have them flying in space talking to aliens all the time, keeps your budget down a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
But it also makes it more interesting looking, and it makes it look like I've never seen a Green Lantern story in the comics that looks like this ever.
Right.
It's all crazy space stuff most of the time. And I don't know. I'm very excited about this. Very excited about it. I just have a ton of questions, but questions that are making me lean in and not questions like, I don't know about this.
Right.
But speaking of that reaction, let's do a quick. So here's the thing. We're moving into some Star Wars territory. As we mentioned, Steve and I have launched a spin-off podcast called Haven't Seen Star Wars. So what's going to happen right now is that Steve and I are going to give our very brief, spoiler-free reactions to seeing The Mandalorian and Grogu this past weekend. And then if you follow our Haven't Seen Star Wars podcast, we're not quite sure when yet. We have differing opinions on when this will happen. We haven't sorted that out yet. But in our main feed on the Haven't Seen Star Wars podcast, we will eventually be posting a more in-depth response or reaction, our review of Mandalorian and Grogu. It's also possible that we will post an even more in-depth, spoiler-filled review on our Patreon for Haven't Seen Star Wars. So if you want all of our thoughts, we might be sending you to Patreon for that. But there will be a discussion, a more detailed discussion on Mandalorian and Grogu on the free feed of the Haven't Seen Star Wars feed sometime in the next 2 weeks. We think.
Somewhere in that time.
Somewhere in that realm. Yeah. Yeah. So Mandalorian and Grogu is a Star Wars movie. It just came out this week.
The first
We've already talked about it briefly.
First one in years.
First one in 7 years. 7 years. And longtime listeners to this show will know that there have been many discussions about Mandalorian and Grogu where I've had to say to Steve, it's just going to be a fun adventure.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Why are you so down on it? And Steve would be like, well, I just think that it's whatever, blah, blah, blah. It just seems like not the right move and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, but Steve, Star Wars can do anything. You should be optimistic about this. And Steve's like, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
A lot of discussions like that. Is that fair?
Oh,
More or
100%.
less? I'm paraphrasing. 100%. Steve, what'd you think of Mandalorian and Grogu?
I thought it was a whole lot of goddamn fun. Enough that I saw it twice opening weekend. Once with myself and our friend of the pod, Brennan, and once with my family. And
awesome.
my son came out of it saying it was a 200 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell of a review. It didn't work for me. I thought it was boring, and I didn't.
Yeah. So we've done a complete 180 on both of our stances prior to this. I was the crotchety old man saying, get off my lawn. And now Mike is the crotchety old man saying, get off my lawn.
I was you got to have an open heart and go into it with whatever. And I was just, oof.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're like I said, we're not going to go fully. We'll have a more in-depth discussion about it. There were definitely a lot of things that I liked about it. I can't say that I hated it. There's some cool stuff, some stuff that I liked. Just kind of didn't work for me overall. And when we get into that, I'll go into more, I guess. I've been really obsessing over why it didn't work for me. I have things to say about it. I'm like, well, if I like this, if this didn't work for me, why does this other movie work for me? You know, like in comparing it, be like, okay, well, this movie does this, and this movie, you know, I think that's the reason. You know, I'm really trying to like intellectualize my thoughts instead of just being like a guy that's like, it sucks, even though I don't think it sucks.
Now,
but like,
now on the flip side,
you know,
that may be hurting you.
Why do you think it might be hurting me?
I don't know, especially like when you went into this originally, like, yeah, it's just gonna be, you know, fun. Like, I don't want to think about it too much. I just want to go in, grab a bucket of popcorn, and watch a bunch of action scenes and see some Star Wars shit.
Yeah, no, I'm not analyzing the film. I'm analyzing my reaction to it, and I'm trying to figure out why. I'm trying to either figure out why I reacted negatively to an aspect of the film. Or if I can't figure out why, then I have to look at if I can't figure out why the movie made me act like that, I have to figure out why I reacted that way. So it's like a two-pronged analyzation of myself and of the movie, which I do plan on seeing again, because like I feel like you and I have touched on this a number of times, but like anyone who calls himself a Star Wars fan needs to see all Star Wars movies multiple times, whether or not they like them or not. You have to watch them multiple times until you are seeing the movie they're giving you versus the movie that you wanted. Now, there wasn't a version of this movie that I wanted necessarily.
Right.
It's not like I was sitting there. I wasn't sitting there with my arms crossed being like, they're not doing this that I wanted. You know, like I didn't know what I wanted from this movie.
Yep.
There wasn't like it better do this. Like that wasn't the attitude I went in with. I was just like, I'm ready for this.
Right.
And it just didn't work for me, which is why I'm kind of like confused over my own reaction, which is why I'm doing so much like processing of my thoughts.
Well,
also, I'm crazy and I process my own thoughts over and over again a million times until I can't stand myself anymore. That's just the thing that I do.
That's why we have our therapy session once a week talking through this shit.
Yep.
But, you know, I mean, when I knew you were out of the theater, and in hindsight, you knew I was in the theater, so you
yeah.
But at the same time, when I knew you were out of the theater and didn't immediately sense something, I was like, something's up. Something is strange.
Yeah. I needed to think about it.
Yeah.
I needed to think about it. And then I came down with like, I don't think it really worked for me. Like, you know, it wasn't like my wife liked it. My son liked it. You know, neither of them thought it was like the best Star Wars movie they'd ever seen.
Right.
My son leaned over to me. We're like a half hour into the movie, right? Yeah. There's already been like there's been at least 2 insane fights, action sequences so far. He leans over to me and goes, pretty slow start to this movie, huh? I was like, you think that it's slow too? Jesus, you're 9. What is happening?
Like that first scene might be one of the quickest openings of any Star Wars movie.
Yeah. I was like, really?
Like
slow?
You're 0 to full throttle like that. Oh boy.
So, but you know, despite that, like I said, he wanted to watch 2 Star Wars movies this weekend after seeing that. And he wanted to be playing Star Wars for 2 days after seeing the movie.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh, Seabass and the neighbors' kids were just like all Star Wars all the time this weekend.
Yeah. So tune in for a more in-depth discussion on that over on our Haven't Seen Star Wars feed, and then an even further exploration of maybe like plot spoilers and stuff that we'll put on our Patreon. We'll figure out how we're going to do that. We'll figure out when we're going to do that. It's either going to be pretty soon or it'll be not this Monday, but not the following Monday, but
within the next 2 weeks, this will happen.
Within the next 2 weeks. Yeah. So look out for that. Some news on it. It is, I'm not saying this to like, you know, say that I'm right about anything, but it's just reporting on it. It is the lowest opening in the history of the Star Wars franchise.
Right.
3 million lower than Solo. 4-day Solo opened the exact same weekend when it came out a few years ago. Mandalorian Grogu's grossed about $100 million in its 4-day weekend. This is domestic gross. Solo at 103 4-day weekend, and but also it's also got the lowest budget in the history of the franchise. So it's $165 million to make the movie. That's before marketing.
Yeah,
I feel like I don't think any Star Wars movie in the last really long time has cost less than $300 million or $250, like, you know.
And I think they said if they hit 400 global, then they've made everything back.
Yeah, they're going to make
with
their
marketing
money
and the whole
back.
nine. Just to put that in perspective, though, Memorial Day. I mean, Memorial Day is not notoriously a great weekend for movies, anyways.
Right? Yeah, it can be.
Last year, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning came out. That was, I think, like mid 70s, low 80s launch for the 4-day. You know, the Aladdin remake. Basically, every one of the Memorial Day weekends has been right around this same dollar total. Like, $221 million in 2019. 2018 was 225. 2017 182. Like these are pre-pandemic numbers. This is the first post-pandemic Star Wars. Yeah. And it's kind of a strange, like, we don't know what to expect, but if it comes out like that, it did. For what I mean, we always talk about how Rotten Tomatoes is not a good way to judge a movie, but the audience score, you know, was pretty. I mean, I think it was like 89 or 90% positive.
Oh, was it that high?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And Cinema Score, which I do take with a little less grain of salt than I would Rotten Tomatoes. So that, for people who don't know, that's effectively an exit poll from the movies. Was an A-.
Yeah, and that's Solo was an A- as well. Yeah, I think.
It might have been a B+. Rise of Skywalker was a B+. I know that.
Yeah,
but like that's usually that's if something doesn't have an A Cinema Score, A+, A-, A, whatever. Yeah. Usually that's a very bad sign.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, comparing it to Solo, I get why you have to do that, because it is Solo until now is the lowest opening. Yeah. But also, like, Solo's budget was outrageous because they shot it 2 times. They made 2 movies and released 1. So that's a pretty hefty budget. It's got to be $300 million that they spent on Solo. Easily.
Solo's budget
movie
was,
that I
300
really
million. Production budget was 300 million. And total gross was only 393. So it barely covered production, let alone marketing and the whole rest. And
that is a whole other can of worms that I'm sure we'll get into on Haven't Seen Star Wars someday.
It's true.
Solo is on our schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Check our social media for our watch order. Solo is on there. We'll get there. But speaking of Star Wars, and I'm sure we'll probably get into a little bit of the future of the franchise, talking about this next story. Damon Lindelof has talked a little bit in a podcast interview this past week about getting fired from writing a Star Wars movie. Lindelof, who you may know as a writer showrunner of Lost, the spectacular HBO series Watchmen, and the aforementioned Lanterns from DC Studios.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
He was hired to write a Rey movie. Was he writing? I don't remember at this point, because there's been so many.
I believe his was going to be the start for the trilogy.
But was this supposed to be the Rey movie they announced as being directed by Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, however you say her name? Or was this a different Rey movie?
I think this was supposed to be a different Rey movie.
Oh, okay. I feel like I remember. I thought it was that movie that they announced at Celebration a million years ago. That's never happening.
I don't know.
It is so frustrating that none of those 3 movies are happening.
It was the same one.
It's so frustrating.
It was the same one.
It was that. That's what I thought. Okay, That was the Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy film. That's so frustrating to me.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you announce 3 movies that you're not making? You brought Daisy Ridley out on the stage.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Lucasfilm, get your shit together, please. Okay.
We've
Anyway,
been saying that for years, Mike.
I know. It's just hit me. It hit me this past week. How insane that was, and how livid I am that those movies just aren't being made at all.
We also had Rangers that didn't get made from that announcement. The Rangers of the New Republic.
Well, that was going to be a Cara
the G-
Dune thing, and then she decided to go be a anti-Semitic, anti-trans person online,
Well, you know,
and wouldn't stop posting despite Disney telling her to stop posting.
literally telling her
anti-Semitic
all you need to
bullshit.
do to keep your job is stop posting this shit, and she
Yeah.
still did.
Do you want to lead your own show in one of the most valuable franchises that exists on the planet?
No?
No,
Okay.
you'd rather just be an anti-trans bigot online? Okay. You're fired.
Well,
We're
see you
not
later.
making the show then.
Yeah.
What an
God.
idiot. What an idiot she is. Anyway. Anyway, this was supposed to be a movie featuring Rey that was supposed to take place after The Rise of Skywalker. It was not announced. I heard someone say this week that it was announced as episode 10. I do not remember it being announced as episode 10.
I think it was just a.
I remember it being announced. The working title was like New Jedi Order.
Yeah,
That's all it
something like
was.
that.
They never said it was episode 10, but obviously it could have spawned a trilogy
Right.
if it was successful. And then I think he had a writing partner, Justin Britt Gibson, I think was the name of the guy he was writing with. Pulled that out of nowhere. Wow. And we heard they were working on something. Then a few months later, we heard they turned in their script and they were done.
Right.
At Lucasfilm. That was not going to be what they made. They hired somebody else to write that movie. And then that was 8 months ago. And we haven't heard anything about it since. They hired some guy to write it. So Lindelof was talking about it. And he said, they asked me, what do you think a Star Wars movie should be? And I said, here's what it should be. And they said, great, you're hired. And then 2 years later, I was fired. What we were attempting to do was to have this conversation in the movie, which is to say, get ready. There is a force of nostalgia and there is a force of revision, and they are at odds with one another. And let's do the Protestant Reformation inside Star Wars. And it didn't work. That's his quote. He goes on to say that Lucasfilm seemed to like the premise, and he, quote, didn't feel it was necessarily that risky. Then he went on to say the writing was really hard. It was slow. The tone, getting it right. Where it was inside of the canon. What is its relationship with episode 9? Is it starting a new trilogy? It's the old sort of like tanker equation, meaning like a boat, like you're steering a big boat. You turn the wheel a little bit and it takes 5 minutes before it actually turns. We were looking for the center of Star Wars. And he said, we're looking for the center of Star Wars. He said something about how when episode 7 came out, it was clear the center of Star Wars was Rey and Finn and Poe, surrounded by these elder characters of Han and Leia and Chewie and Luke and all that. But then, sure, it's easy to find the center of Star Wars when you're launching a new thing that is supposed to be the new launch pad of the franchise. That's easy to find the center of Star Wars. Then once you get Last Jedi and a mess of a third movie, it's kind of like, where are we? So I get that being a tough nut to crack.
I mean, so if we're doing the Protestant Reformation inside Star Wars, are we having like Finn post his theses on the door of the Jedi Temple or what?
Okay. My question for you, what does he mean by that?
I don't know.
The Protestant Reformation inside Star Wars. What does he mean by that?
I would assume, because he's talking about the, different facets of the Force and whatever, and well, yes and no. Force in the literal and figurative sense. That I think that word choice is appropriate that he's using there, but I would assume it's something about you've got Qui-Gon's interpretation of the living Force, you've got the traditional Jedi stuff, like you've got whatever new branches are. It's kind of like making more facets of the Force available, or different interpretations of the light side of the Force and that sort of thing.
Okay. That makes sense. I think he's speaking semi-metaphorically when he says the force. I don't think he was going to brand,
Oh no.
This character uses a force of nostalgia and this character uses a force of revision. I think he's speaking
No, I think
nostalgically, not nostalgically,
was,
metaphorically.
I think he was speaking metaphorically, but also choosing that in the appropriate.
Yeah.
Like purposefully, should I say?
Yes, like what you're saying. Like he's going to reinvent the Jedi basically,
Right.
for a new Jedi Order.
Yep.
Right. Like Rey would be reinterpreting I'm just kind of thinking. I'm figuring this out based on what you just said. Like I'm talking about it right now.
And
like,
there would be some
Rey,
dogmatic folks around that would be holding on to the old ideals and whatnot.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Right. Like the, I don't know, maybe she would probably reinterpret the rules of what it means to be a Jedi. Right.
Right.
Because,
or there's some survivor of Order 66 that like is still trying to hold things back or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, sure. Yeah.
We know there's a shit ton of them at this point. So maybe somebody shows up.
And thinking of it like that, I do think that's a pretty good idea, considering it would make sense for a character like Rey, who was trained by old jaded Luke Skywalker, who did not believe in the Jedi and did not teach her any of like the traditional Jedi ways. However, we do know that she studied the ancient Jedi texts. Because we know that she studied them and we know she trained with Leia.
Yep.
But that all happens off screen. But it makes sense that she would be like, okay, I know all of this, but I also know the attitude that I got from my first master, Luke Skywalker. And these are the things that I think need to change going forward. So if it's going to be me, I'm going to teach people to use the Force like this, or that they should, like, I'm going to drop the whole you're not allowed to be married or you're not allowed to have attachments thing or something like that. So I get that. That makes sense for a character like Rey to do. However, didn't The Last Jedi already kind of challenge nostalgia versus revision? And fans hated that like crazy?
100%. And
so I can definitely see him turning in a script that challenged what fans hold as like revere, like that's the highest, holiest thing, even though it maybe isn't.
Right.
Versus the thing that's like, here's the new thing that you should revere and it's splitting fans. I can see Lucasfilm or Disney, whoever, reading that script and being like, there's no way we can do this. It's going to give us The Last Jedi all over again.
Yeah.
I can see that, but I think it's
100%.
kind of bullshit because it seems like he was trying to push into new ground, which is what a lot of Star Wars fans say that they want.
Yeah.
And then they get it and they hate it.
Yeah,
so frustrating.
That is the biggest thing, is the same people that bitch and moan about all this stuff are also the same ones that are saying, oh, why are you making the same movie over again? Like, they bitched about Force Awakens for being the same thing as Episode 4, but then when you try and challenge any of that and change anything in Episode 8,
Last Jedi,
you are, I want it changed, but not that way. Like,
exactly.
Yeah. It's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. They got to get themselves into a place where, like back when the sequels were coming out, when there was like one Christmas we got Episode 7. The next Christmas we got a spinoff. Then we got Episode 8. Then we got a spinoff, right? They should get themselves into a place where like the episodes are pushing the story forward and pushing the universe forward, and the spin-offs are just like
filling in the gaps.
Here's a bunch of blasters and lightsabers and fights.
Right.
And like that's it.
Yeah, this would have been that, like Mandalorian and Grogu would have been a perfect interstitial, just like Solo. And I mean, Rogue One was its own animal.
Yeah,
like, that was a serious take on that wasn't popcorn and speeders and shit.
Right.
But like still, they could very easily do that for all different eras.
That would be cool. Here's Rey pushing the story forward, and if you're not into that, then here's a movie about AI Luke Skywalker fighting stormtroopers or whatever. Here's like the slop that you think you want,
Well, and I guess that's the other thing too, is like Star Wars is and I've been saying it for years. Anybody who's has listened to this for long enough time has probably heard me rant and rave about it. Star Wars is a big enough property that you can make all these goddamn movies.
You can do that. Yeah.
Like I said in the past, my favorite books were X-Wing pilots just chilling and doing their missions and stuff. Like,
yeah,
you can have stuff that's just completely unrelated to lightsabers and, swingy fights.
Yeah, totally. You just got to put a lot of effort into it and make it good.
Yeah, and just also not take too seriously when the neckbeards of the internet say, "Oh my God, it's the worst thing ever."
I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? Is that Disney treating, and I do think I do think that it's Disney more than it is Lucasfilm.
Probably
reacting like that. I think the Rise of Skywalker falls more on Disney's shoulders than Lucasfilm's shoulders, because Kathleen Kennedy loved The Last Jedi. It was an easy production. She loved working with Rian Johnson. It was not a problem. It was the easiest production they've ever had on Star Wars.
Yeah. And
then it came out and it split the fans. And I think it was Disney that was you have to fix this. And they made a milquetoast piece of shit that didn't appease either side of the fandom. It's insane.
Guess what? That movie that nobody liked still made $1.3 billion.
It made a ton of money. That's the other thing. It's crazy. People are like, oh, it was a failure because it divided the fandom. No, it didn't. It made almost $2 billion. Shut up.
Also, hi, Matt. I'm sure you're yelling at yourself right now.
Yeah.
Matt Flint wants to come on whenever we talk Last Jedi.
Oh, because he hates it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Though, I think if we just talk him through it, we might get him somewhere.
I feel bad for people that don't like The Last Jedi at this point. It used to be I was someone that was, I've said this every time. And when we get to it in our other podcast, I'll say it then too. But I was mixed on it when it came out. I just gave it more chances. And now it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. I love it so much. And I just feel bad for people who can't see it the way I see it, because it's so fucking good. It's so good.
The moment that I realized that what we saw actually was in Luke's character was oh, well, shit. I thought it was an okay movie. Now I think it's an actual good movie.
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah.
You just... I don't know. Whatever. We're not going to turn everybody on it, but...
We're not going to turn everybody on it. But I will say, without spoiling anything, if you're looking for new perspectives on maybe The Last Jedi or maybe Luke Skywalker, you should listen to Haven't Seen Star Wars.
And this is before we've recorded anything on The Last Jedi. Just from
they
hearing
haven't
what
even
we've heard on,
they're not even close to watching it. They're not even close to watching a sequel yet. And Steve and I already know. You should too, because it's helping
You're
me.
talking about on the feed, because I'm no, but they're...
Yeah.
I got you now.
Yeah. Anyway.
Either way.
Anyway.
Here's Wonderwall.
This is an older story. This is an older story that I missed because it took place back at CinemaCon.
Oh.
This is a Lord of the Rings story that Steve, I don't think we've talked about it. I don't think you knew this.
We had talked about some potential people that were mentioned, but not that it was announced.
Okay. Warner Brothers is making a new Lord of the Rings movie called Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum. We've talked about it a few times. Being directed by Andy Serkis. It is seeing the return of Andy Serkis as Gollum, the return of Sir Ian McKellen as Gandalf the Grey, and the return of Elijah Wood as Frodo Baggins. I believe those last two are unannounced, but they basically said that they're coming back for it.
Yeah.
But who's not coming back is Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, or Strider, or whatever you want to call him. And that they announced that role is going to be recast. And apparently back at CinemaCon last month or 2 months ago, whenever CinemaCon was, I don't remember. Time is crazy. Warner Brothers announced that Jamie Dornan, who you may remember from the 50 Shades of Grey film series, has also done a lot of other stuff in England that I'm not as familiar with, will play the role of Strider. They're calling him Strider. which is, I guess, true to the books. He's known as Strider for a while before they uncover that his real name is Aragorn. So if this takes place before Fellowship of the Ring, makes sense they'd be calling him Strider. Anyway, Jamie Dornan will be playing Aragorn / Strider in Lord of the Rings Hunt for Gollum, a role previously held by Viggo Mortensen. Steve, I love Lord of the Rings, but you are a bigger Lord of the Rings guy than I am. What do you think about Jamie Dornan as Strider?
I have zero idea who that is.
Okay, great.
And Leo Woodall was the guy who was rumored to be cast a couple months ago.
He's also cast in it.
Right.
Yeah, he's cast in it, but he's not.
Right.
He's a different role. I don't think they said who he is playing. Even yet.
So yeah, I mean, if he doesn't suck, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the guy's done.
I think he kind of. I think he looks right. I think he looks right for the part.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think I haven't seen any of the 50 Shades movies. I haven't seen it. I looked at his list of credits. I don't think I've seen anything that he's done. But like, I think he looks like a good replacement for a younger Viggo Mortensen.
I could see that.
I guess not too much younger, I guess. But.
Right. I mean, yeah, you put a wig on him and call it a day. Like,
yeah,
if he can act the part, then I'm down with it.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna have to de-age Ian McKellen, but de-age him till he's like 70? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're actually going to have to age up Elijah Wood.
Yeah,
he's Benjamin Buttoning it at this point.
He's aging in reverse. Like, Ian McKellen, we have to de-age you, but only until you're
right
68 years old.
Right.
Whatever.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Steve, do you have a comic to review?
I don't think I do.
Guess what, dude? I do. Can you believe it?
Nice.
Can you believe it? And it's a good one, too.
Oh.
It's one that I was about to buy anyway, and they said I should review it. I read Absolute Green Arrow #1.
Oh, I haven't read it yet.
And I got this cool, who is this? Variant cover by Tua Lote. Very cool variant cover. This is the newest Absolute book, and I don't know if they're doing any more because this came out
Catwoman
on its own. Catwoman, that's right. They're doing an Absolute Catwoman. But didn't that come out? Is that out yet? Absolute Catwoman? I didn't think so. So they did the first 3 in I thought they did waves, like Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman came out around the same time. Then Manhunter, Flash, and Green Lantern came around the same time. So I was surprised this came out by itself.
Well, they bet even those launched every
different weeks.
they're all different weeks. So
yeah, right. That's true. I like this book quite a bit. The art style is very cool. Who's on art? Let me get the credits page up real quick here.
Raphael Albuquerque.
Thank you.
Colors by Marcelo Maiolo.
That's right. Yeah, written by Pornsak Pichote, I think. Absolute Catwoman is co-written by Scott Snyder.
Yep.
Shea Grayson and Scott Snyder. That's cool. I guess that makes sense because he kind of created the character for Absolute Batman, so that's probably why he gets the credit.
And that's coming out in June.
Okay. Much like the other Absolute books, this one is more intense than you would expect for a DC comic. I'm going to show this panel that's a kind of rated R. It's a dead guy with 2 arrows sticking out of his eyes.
That'll do it.
Put there by Absolute Green Arrow. The main character in this book is not Oliver Queen. The main character in this book is Dinah Lance, who you might know as Black Canary, who I love as Black Canary. But she's working as a bodyguard for hire. She's doing security for pop stars and whoever hires her. Used to be involved with Oliver Queen. Oliver Queen is presumed dead, but turns out he's not, or he is, and he's some kind of spectral ghost that's murdering people with a bow and arrow.
Right. Because on the cover, and you can really tell it on there's a 1 in 25, the Reiko Murakami variant. Yeah,
They're definitely making him look like a ghost.
Right. The mask is very like skeletal, like almost looks like Ghost Rider under the hood type thing.
Totally Ghost Rider vibes. So the main character is Dinah. She's getting hired to do security for somebody who's worried about this retribution of some kind. And guess what? Green Arrow shows up and murders everybody. It's a good hook for sure.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted a little bit more, but it's kind of one of those things that gives you just enough to want to know more, to want to buy issue 2. So I would say it was successful in that. I don't know that it's going to be something that I pick up in general. It didn't. The premise wasn't like something like Absolute Flash. What the premise alone was like, oh, this is cool. Right. I'm in. Or Martian Manhunter. Oh, this is cool. I'm going to buy more issues of this. This seemed like a cool premise, but not enough. It didn't hook me enough.
Okay.
Because it's called. I do like that it's about Dinah, because Black Canary is one of my favorite DC characters. So like, I like that she's the main character, but it's called Absolute Green Arrow, and he was kind of like a side character. He's like the mystery. So I don't know enough about actual Green Arrow in this book yet. And I'm sure we'll get there in subsequent issues. And you know what? I don't know. My love for Black Canary may be enough for me to buy issue 2. I liked it a lot. It was very cool, and it seems like they know where they're going.
Right.
But it was just like I wanted a little bit more, and maybe I'll get a little bit more in issue 2. But big fan, and a lot of copies with multiple covers still at Funky Town Comics and Vinyl. So check them out. This Wednesday at your local comic book store, you can pick up a copy of Absolute Green Arrow and all these books that are coming out this week, including Absolute Wonder Woman issue 20, Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Versity number 2, Batman 163. This is the conclusion of Hush Part 2. Do I remember what's happening in Hush Part 2? No, not at all.
It lived up to its namesake because ain't nobody been talking about it since that first issue.
Sick burn, Steve. Sick burn to Hush Part 2.
I forgot it was still ongoing. I had no idea. Oh, God.
Take that, Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb. Steve Haller just
take that,
your
two
asses.
of the most greatest comic minds in history.
Yeah.
And yes, I said most greatest.
And
Why
you
not?
were right to say those words. You're right. Capes number 7, Corpse Knight number 2, Detective Comics number 1109. Did you hear about Mimi Green number 1?
No.
Doom Quest number 1, Escape number 7, Exquisite Corpses number 13, Feral number 23, The Flash number 33, Generation X 23 number 4, Green Lantern number 35, Harley Quinn 62, Infernal Hulk number 7, Justice League Unlimited number 19, Monstrous number 62, Planet of the Apes versus Fantastic Four number 4, Psylocke Ninja number 5, The Rocketeer, The Island number 3, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, Echoes of the Empire number 2, Superman 38, Superman Father of Tomorrow number 1, Swamp Thing 1989 number 2, The Ultimates number 24, Universal Monsters Phantom of the Opera number 4, Wonder Man number 3, X-Men 30, and Zatanna number 2. I will definitely be getting the conclusion to Hush number 2 and be confused as to what was happening and why it took so long for them to finish this story.
Because didn't it start like a year ago at this point?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but a while ago. And I don't think I'm going to get anything else. Nothing else on my pull. Superman Father of Tomorrow looks interesting. I haven't heard about Mimi Green, but it's a number 1, and it's an interesting. Did you hear about Mimi Green? Is an interesting title. No, I haven't. Maybe I'll pick up that book and learn about Mimi Green. I don't know. We'll see. Anything you're excited about, or anything you've been reading lately?
Absolute Wonder Woman and Infernal Hulk, because Philip Kennedy Johnson just between the last Hulk run and this Infernal run, he gets Hulk.
Oh, nice.
He writes him very well, and it's been some good stories. And Absolute Wonder Woman is, I don't know, it's it's a toss-up between that and Absolute Batman as far as the best Absolute book.
I've heard those two are tremendous. I haven't kept up with either of them. And I'm behind on Manhunter too. I still think Martian Manhunter is incredible, but I'm way behind on. I have all the issues. I just haven't read them yet. Catch up.
So,
Gotta catch up.
Brian in
guys,
the,
haven't
Brian
been
in the
reading
chat
much.
has confirmed that Hush is ass.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. What are you doing? I don't know.
And he just completely non sequitured Martian Manhunter, so I'm assuming it was now o'clock when he got our feed.
Sure. Yeah.
And yes, I was just talking the main, like the big, all the ongoings, not the. Although Manhunter was supposed to be a mini that turned into a kind of ongoing-ish.
I still think it's ending after this second arc.
The second
I don't
run.
think it's going further. I think there were 6 and there's going to be up to 12, and I think that's going to be it.
I mean, Denny Camp's got enough in the hopper that, he's probably
got
nice
enough
and busy.
For sure. I just haven't been reading as much lately. I got to get back into it. I got a stack of books waiting for me. I have been finally catching up on some things I was behind on, at least, I should say. Daredevil. I finally finished Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Have you finished Daredevil Born Again Season 2?
No, I have 1 episode left.
I had like 4. I was way further behind than I even thought. I was like, oh boy, I got to do some real catching up. I thought it was great.
I was
really good.
And then when I was sick, I was able to get through 3 of them.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, life happened. So.
Sure. Yeah.
Whereas I can slide a 20-minute Maul Shadow Lord in there somewhere. It's a little tougher to shove a 40-minute, 50-minute show in.
Yeah, some of them were long.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say anything about the ending if you haven't seen it, but it's still like 15-20% trying too hard sometimes, I think. But it really gets where it wants to go. Like, there's something that is happening in the finale that I was like, this is insane that they're letting this happen. It's like, if you told me in episode 1 that this is how this is going to end, I'd be like, that's an insane decision to have a character do that.
Mm-hmm.
But they earn it. Like, they get there. They did all the work. And I'm watching it the two thoughts in my brain are like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And also, but they earned it. They got there.
There you go.
So, okay. I believe it. Yeah. Big fan of that show. Excited to see season 3, which I believe they are already working on.
I think so.
Very, very cool. But I think that's all I have. Steve, do you have anything else?
No, I think that's about it. But if you're hearing this, you should, as we said at the top of the show, check us out, do all the YouTube pleasantries, leave us a comment, review.
You really should.
Like, subscribe, the whole 9, on your podcatcher of choice. If you're listening to this in the Audible form, I guess you can listen to it on Audible now because Amazon Podcasts is a thing. So wherever you're listening to this, please feel free to like it and subscribe and rate us and review us and the whole 9. It really does help us out.
It really does. And if you could do all those same things for our new podcast, Haven't Seen Star Wars, wherever you get your podcasts, I think it'll work. It's a good podcast for people that love Star Wars and have loved it their whole lives. And it's a good podcast for people who are brand new to it. Because 2 people have loved it their whole lives. 2 other people have never seen it and they're brand new to it. So you can relate to anybody's reactions, opinions. And like I said, it's a bunch of fun. It makes me laugh. I'm a part of it, and it makes me laugh every time I listen to it.
Yeah. And that's a lot because we have to edit it.
Yes, for sure. It's not like this podcast where it goes out live and whatever we say is just, well, that's just what we said.
Yep.
Nothing we can do about it. Nope. Oh, there's a weird noise. Oh, it sounded like shit one week. Sorry. You get a shitty episode. Next week, we'll try it again.
Oh, Brian told us that nobody can hear a goddamn thing we're saying? Oh, cool. All right. Well,
all right. Okay.
I'll hit go again, and we're going.
Sorry about those first 20 minutes, but here we go.
But Mike and I had a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
So check out Haven't Seen Star Wars. Follow us on social medias and all that stuff. We also have Letterboxd. Follow us on Letterboxd. You can hear some, not hear, but read some reviews of the films as we go. Actually, I haven't posted our Empire one yet, so I got to get on that and then do the Return of the Jedi one for Letterboxd. And that's it. So if Steve's done and I'm done, then I will say, as I do every week, as the two suns set over the burnt corpses of Owen and Brew Lars, we say unto you, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the multiverse.